Spare Parts.
Hello, Spare Parts, and hello, Evan Stern.
Hello, Michelle Mylett. Michelle, do people know that your middle name's Robyn / your first name's Robyn?
I think people know it. Enough people know it that need to.
Yeah, enough people know it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I just because I have a habit of like wanting to say people's full names, and then I'm like, am I allowed to?
Oh, it's no secret.
Okay.
My first legal. Have we not talked about this on the?
Not on the podcast. No.
Okay. I mean, this is not super interesting.
This is
maybe
hugely interesting information, I think, to people.
It's going to be all over the headlines.
It is interesting. You don't find it fascinating that you have another first name that you choose not to use?
Well, I didn't really choose. So essentially, my first name is Robyn. So my name is Robyn Michelle.
Y-N? Yeah, it's Y-N. It's a weird spelling.
R-O-B-Y-N. So Robyn Michelle Mylett. And the reasoning that I don't go by Robyn is because my mom's name is Robyn. And I think it was one of those things where they brought me home and two Robins in the home didn't make sense. And so they just started calling me Michelle. But
like, how did they not clock that when they'd named you?
So here's the thing, Ev.
Drugs.
I think my mom was, so first of all, birth is crazy. Pregnancy is crazy from what I hear.
Really? I heard it was super chill. I heard births are like, they just happen and everybody has their full brain.
Yeah. And I think she just kind of, I don't know the thinking fully, but there was a moment where she really wanted to call me Dagmar. We've talked about this.
I've heard of Dagmar. I have heard Dagmar, but I didn't really know that Robyn was like the other choice. And then they were like, wait, whoops.
I really don't know what was going on there, but I think it was like a moment in the hospital where she's like, no, like I want her to be Robyn. And then
your dad was
my dad was like, okay. And then when they got home and she maybe
you birthed it.
Yeah, fair enough. And then when we got home and she was like, maybe a little bit had rest or something. She was maybe not so keen on me also being Robyn. So I've never been called Robyn my whole life. It's always been Michelle.
That's fair. I'd be like, if I had a kid, I'd be pissed if it was named Evan. It'd be annoying. Yeah. I'd be like, bro, that's my name. Stop it. Don't take my name. And a lot of people do that though. They do the same first name and then just add like a junior at the end. You could have been Robyn Mylett Jr.
I mean, I am technically a junior. I'm Robyn the second.
Whoa. That's very regal of you. How royal.
Very royal, but
my original name is going to be Kevin, which is not a sexy name. I feel like Evan is better. So no offense to all the Kevins out there.
Kevin Jonas.
No offense to Kevin Jonas specifically, but
he gets a lot of flack.
Really? For being named Kevin?
No, I think because he's been sort of deemed, and I don't feel this way. I don't really, Jonas Brothers aren't fully on my radar, never have been, but I think he's kind of like the less coveted Jonas brother.
Oh no, that would be so upsetting. And the thing is, I think the Jonas Brothers are cool, right? I think they're pretty chill. I heard they went into, well, maybe this is not a cool chill thing to do, but they went into, like when they were shooting something in Toronto and they went into a Jonas Brothers trivia night.
Oh, that's fun. I think that's great.
Right, that's cute. Okay, so that's cute. So yes, okay, so then it is cute. So that's a pretty chill thing to do. Like if you're willing to like walk into a random trivia night.
I think that's great.
I'd be terrified of walking into a Letterkenny trivia night, personally.
Right.
People would be 12 beers deep at a Letterkenny trivia night. Yeah,
it'd be rowdy. Whereas I feel like the Jonas Brother crowd is probably a bit more gentle.
They're definitely mostly women. Which is helpful.
Which is something to consider.
And they're probably not like blackout drunk after the third question. Whereas like I'm thinking, correct me if I'm wrong here, Letterkenny trivia folk, but I imagine you have a few pops when you're out there.
Yeah, there's some sodas going on, I'm sure.
What is Michelle Mylett's real first name to your Letterkenny trivia night?
That's a good trivia question. That's like a deep cut.
Extra point, spelling with the Y.
So Spare Parts listeners, we're really setting you up for future success. What's your trivia that your mom wanted to call you Kevin? That doesn't seem...
That sucks. My mom didn't even want to call me Kevin. I don't think my mom had anything to do with the naming of me. I think my father named all 4 boys and he just liked these like names, these like Welsh names. He went Daniel, Aaron, Brendan, Evan. Like he just chose these like very similar kind of world of names.
Wait, are you Irish? Have we talked about this?
I am.
You're a little bit Irish and Jewish.
Yeah. Lebanese.
Ashkenazi. Am I saying that right?
That's what you were Ashkenazi, yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm sure there's a different pronunciation depending on where you're from and how you say it. But yes, that is it. I'm not Sephardic, if that is the question.
Copy.
Which it could have been, I guess. Like that would make sense. I look Sephardic because of the Lebanese. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't totally sure.
Totally valid. Because like Moroccan Jews.
Yeah.
African Jews, Sephardic Jews.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like Dan Rush was a writer on Letterkenny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And my grandpa, his lineage he's not Ashkenazi.
So we're definitely not related then. See, I thought we were cousins this whole time, but we're from the two different Jewish populations. So that we can't be. Sorry.
He's only, I think half though, and he's not religious. I don't want to like claim that culture unnecessarily, but it is in the gene pool.
Yeah, you can't help it. What would we do if we walked into a trivia night? I'm trying to imagine, would we enter as contestants? Do you think we'd be able to answer more questions than like the audience? I think we'd be worse, to be honest. Like, I think they'd know more about it. Everyone corrects us every single fucking episode of the podcast. They're like, actually.
I know, you guys are on it.
I think we would about this show.
We would definitely lose. I mean, the last kind of press thing I did for the final season, Tyler and I did a bunch of interviews. I was so sick. It was crazy. I had COVID.
You were dying.
Yeah, it was very bad. It was when you had to step in to do the interview, and then we got
thanks a lot for that
beautiful piece of media. We did like a Crave TV trivia game together, and they asked us like it was really simple stuff like who said this line or who's most likely to say this line. Is it Squirrely Dave
or Squirrely Dan? And you're like,
right.
Ugh.
And we were so bad at it. Tyler was better than me, but I was like, I got most of them wrong. It was bad.
Yeah, why set us up for failure like that?
I know. It was like, who said pitter patter? I was like, well, we all said it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was stuff like that. I felt
okay. So it's their fault. Yo, fire the PR team is what Michelle is saying.
No, they were so sweet, but it was just I think we were just kind of like shocked at how bad we were. So yeah, I think we would go in and play, and maybe like part of the bit would be that we were bad at it.
Right. Or never get a single answer right. No, it's kind of a shitty bit if we intend to, but if it happens on accident, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like the questions will be something like, whose favorite chip was Salt and Vinny's? And like, that's tricky because in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I don't remember that scene. Was it yours? See, because I don't remember that scene, so I wouldn't have been able to get that.
Oh, wait. No, it isn't. Sorry. Mine is still pickle.
Like in the show, we're talking about Katie.
Yeah, in the show,
but Michelle.
But it's all intertwined because the reason Jared gave me dill pickle in the show is because in real life I'm obsessed with dill pickle chips.
I didn't know that.
The fact that I just got that wrong is not a good sign.
Kind of fucked up, actually.
Yeah, it's an insane. It's my brain is not working. It's early for me. It's 10:30 in the morning.
It's so early. Did you have your tea already? Did you have your sparkling water and your tea? You ready to go?
I had a coffee. It's not really hitting yet. And then I made bone broth yesterday, but I feel like please somebody chime in on this because it's now frozen in my freezer and I don't know what to do with it. So you leave it on the stove overnight, which I'm a bit like, okay, but that's what you do. Cause like simmering. Okay. So like a tiny like simmer. But I feel like I did it too low and I'm worried that the temperature was at that perfect bacterial growth temperature and now I've got putrid broth and I just don't know. I love how,
oh my God, your whole purpose of this is to like be healthier and like go out of your comfort zone and make some like bone broth so you feel good. And instead it's made you absolutely paranoid that you're creating a bacterial culture.
Yes, I'm worried about it.
I think you're fine. Speaking of someone who's never dealt with bone broth in my entire life.
Yeah, what do you know?
I said bone broth and life. We are fucked today. This is busted. No, but I honestly, you're probably fine. Let's be real.
But I smelled it and it doesn't smell off, but it doesn't smell like the other bone broths that I have.
Are you going to heat it up before you drink it or are you going to drink it cold?
Yeah, I'll heat it up.
Well, then if you heat it up, then you're fine. It'll kill everything. You're fine. Microwave.
I know,
2 minutes.
But I don't know about it. But you know when something's in your head where you're like, this is off? It's like when it's the classic kind of up the middle thing to say where you're halfway in between bites of chicken, and then you realize you're eating chicken, which is a muscle on a bird, and then you're like, whoa.
Literally 2 days ago, I had these beautiful tuna steaks that I barbecued, and I looked it up. I was like, how do you barbecue tuna steaks? I defrosted it perfectly. I dressed it perfectly. I recooked it 4 times because I was so scared that I had undercooked it, which you like can't really do. And then by the time I actually ate it, it was like all gray. It was so gross. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. Like, it was fucking disgusting. It was fucking disgusting.
I'm not trying to get sick. I'm not full stop. I'm not trying to get sick, I guess is what I mean to say. Yeah. And I just like the bone broth. What I think I need is a crock pot or like an instant pot or something where it can be sealed, and because the stove is too finicky. Like I can't get it right.
No, I mean, it's also like way more dangerous than a crock pot. I feel like crock pots are just, they do their own thing. You don't have to worry about it. You could leave a crock pot on for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And like not even think about it. Stove being on for 4 days.
Not good.
That's not safe.
No, it's not safe. So anyways, that's kind of what's going on over here with me. But yeah, I am a little bit sleepy, but I also feel good. Right. And I spent my morning watching the battle for Bonnie McMurray. How about you?
Oh yeah, me too. What a weird energy that Squirrely Dan and Derry come in with. That heated sexual. I mean, I feel like Katie is doing something different. She's pretty sleazy in her own way, but they're angry. Like K-Trev and Nate both do something really funny with their rage. The fact that they're always hitting on Bonnie McMurray directly at each other's eyes.
Yeah, it feels less about her and more about them. Obviously, it's I mean, let's start from the top, shall we?
Dad noises. Yeah, we're in the bar and we hear some dad noises, and honestly, real. Very real, especially like the fact that moms don't really do it in the same way, and the reasoning behind that. Like it's pretty. I never considered that moms don't do they don't make a noise. But yeah, I never heard my mom ever do like that noise. My dad has been making that noise my whole life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is this kind of the diad? This is almost like because we eventually get to diad, which is. But I think this is sort of the laying the groundwork for kind of dad stuff.
It's the birth of it for sure. I mean, we get Keese in there doing that. Like he does a couple dads.
Yeah.
You're right. It lays the groundwork for it.
Yeah.
I
a great little bar scene. I do like this cold open a lot, and I feel like dad noises is something that's. I'm aware of it now.
Do you make dad noises?
No, I don't think so.
Does Connor yet?
No.
No? Does your dad? Did your dad?
No.
Wow. So you're like, this is like something you've just
believed my dad
to be true about dads.
Isn't a country dad. My dad is a city dad, and it's very different. I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've talked about it with you or with other friends, but I really think dads are in 2 categories. There's a city dad or there's a country dad. And sure, some things can kind of like intersect, but they are different.
Okay.
They are different. And I very much have a city dad. What kind of dad do you have?
I mean, I don't know at this. I think I have a city dad because he's born in New York City and then moved to Toronto. But he is a musical theater teacher who taught in like in the country. Like he taught a bunch of these Caledon kids who are all like horse girls and stuff, right? So I don't know.
But is he interested in country things? Is he camping? Is he fixing stuff? Is he kind of the strong silent type?
He's definitely not the strong silent type. No. My father is like a poet boy. He's like sitting on the hill at 16 and nothing's ever changed. And he's writing like love poetry.
Oh, that's a city dad.
But his dad literally made and sold tents in New York and was a country, like tried to send him off to camp all the time. So like he had a country dad from Germany, came from Germany, opened a tent store.
Okay.
And then became and he was like, he like made my dad become a camp counselor and stuff like that. And my dad only enjoyed it because of the girls. He was
you have
all
a
the
city
other camp
dad.
counselors. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what that means.
So I'll put it in kind of like, so Nate and Jared. Jared is a city, Jared
country
is
dad
a country dad, and Nate is a city dad. Dylan and Andrew. Andrew is a city dad. Dylan leans a little bit more country dad. It's an energy. It's a spirit. It's like a. You and Tyler are both city dads, obviously. I'm a city dad.
I like how we've become the thing as well.
Yeah.
It's not just our dads. It's like, I'm a city dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I think.
And those are apt.
Yeah, I notice it. There's some categories of dads. Anyways.
There are categories of dads and only the country ones make this noise apparently. Let's do a little demo.
Yeah.
Feels good. Actually helps.
I was going to say, it seems kind of nice.
Try and stand up. Do it. Make the noise. Just try it once. Yeah. Really enjoy it.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we've got dad noises established, and then let's move into hockey. I'm forgetting the order already.
Well, I mean, before we get on to hockey, there was I just wanted to address the one funny moment when we got Wayne talking about how, like, you know, maybe she's like a little young, like she's 20 years old, and then the guys are about to say their ages. Dary's like, well, I'm only, and he's like,
yeah,
like he stops them from saying their ages. I thought that was very funny.
That is very funny.
Good. So that was almost like meta. Like, we don't want to know as an audience.
No, we don't want to know. We don't care. We don't want to timestamp this. We're okay with timestamping Bonnie at 20 because that gives us loads of room. Yeah. Still, that gives us a good decade to kind of play with before we're aged out and disgusting. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it goes into the kitchen scene where they've been invited to a hot tub party at Bonnie McMurray's, which is actually not her home. No. It's interesting that they're going to hang out with her, and we assume the McMurrays are away.
That's what it is. That's Mr. McMurray, Mr. and Mrs. McMurray's hot tub.
Yeah.
And she lives there, though. She's their roommate or something.
She's their roommate. No, this isn't her home.
First. It's so weird.
I'm assuming that the McMurrays are in Punta Cana.
Always.
Yeah.
Slit slam 2023. Yeah.
Let's not get there before we have to.
Okay. Fair enough.
So they're invited to this hot tub party. It's very exciting. And then we kind of pop in to see what the hockey is up to. They're still just in this change room.
Instead of doing, I feel like we got to try, let's just stick to the Hicks. And then we can move on to the other. You know what I mean? Just so we're not like, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss it all.
You're so
I want to know, what was the hot tub like? Tell us the sensation. What was the temperature? What was the quality of the water? Tell us everything about the hot tub, because I wasn't in it.
It was not good. It was not good. It was lukewarm. Obviously, as the day goes on, it gets progressively dirtier. There's dust. There's... You know, because lights were in some kind of basement situation. And it was just us sitting in lukewarm. Well, I was like, again, speaking of a bacterial overgrowth, that's what it felt like. I was a little bit, I was grossed out.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's better than sitting in an actual hot tub, right? Because if you were in an actual hot tub, you'd all be dead.
Of course.
Because you'd been in for 12 hours. Whereas you're like sitting in this lukewarm water with like K-Trev and Kiso and Nate for like 10 hours or something. And like eating lunch and stuff. Like, you guys have to get out, go eat lunch. Yeah. And you're in a bathing suit all day.
Yeah, it was strange.
That's a weird one.
It was a weird one. Yeah. It's a funny scene though. I do like that Katie's kind of in on the hitting on of Bonnie McMurray. It somehow softens it. I know. I'm manspreading in the tub.
Way less creepy.
Yeah.
Way less creepy having you there, even though you're objectively the creepiest one.
Totally. And
I think crawl over to her.
I do. The crawl is crazy. Crazy crawl. And then we've got Rosie and Wayne also in the tub, kind of like showcasing a healthy relationship, which is very sweet. What are your thoughts on that?
Why don't you keep one hand in the tub and keep one hand out, and I'll keep one hand in the tub and I'll keep one hand.
Yeah,
it's my Rosie. My thoughts
She's
on it
a smooth
were
talker.
smooth talker. It's so funny knowing Clark. And then I've never really put two and two together that she's doing a character. She's doing such a character. Like her little voice, the voice she does in this. Because Clark is a fucking giggle puss. Like Clark is a very giggly gal. And Rosie is like, hey there. Talks with this almost like rasp that like I never hear Clark do. So it's interesting. I guess we haven't had a lot of Rosie scenes yet. And so this was kind of the most I've heard her talk in the show so far.
She's like the classic kind of cool girl, unbothered, happy to do her own thing, has no needs.
Come in and do a few dad noises with me, and then I'll go back to reading my book like a
and I'll totally leave you alone. It's a bit something.
It's another kind of manic pixie dream girl, but it's not manic pixie dream girl. It's like super steadfast, self-actualized dream girl. Like she's like the other end of the spectrum. Doesn't need a man at all.
Well, I would say, I think what Clark did so well with Rosie is pick up on that instantly and go, okay, I need to make sure that like her and Katie, and it was in the writing too, but like her and Katie and her and Bonnie also have like this girl connection to kind of like, and I think she really fed into that in a smart way early on so that it was written in more. And then Rosie becomes a little bit less two-dimensional, which is great.
Right. Yeah. The book reading is very funny to me. They're, I guess, a healthy relationship compared to the other four that are in the hot tub.
Yeah.
compared to the other four degenerates
who are doing who knows what, and then
farting for nonstop 10 minutes. Like what?
Yeah, we'll get there, but I do think they the sentiment of like giving the other person space and also trusting them until they give you a reason not to. That's classic. A healthy perspective in a relationship for sure.
I agree.
Let's get to the tub farting.
Let's get to the tub farting. Very gross. Do you know how they did the bubbles? Can you tell us more about the behind the scenes?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this as I was watching and being like, oh yeah, they had like little tubes sort of fed in from the sides that the guys had. And then I think there was like, they had their finger over the top of the tube, and then so that when they were going to do their joke, they would release it and air would bubble out.
So they were in charge of their own farts, their own bubbles.
They were in charge of their own bubbles from my recollection.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
because
clever.
they had to like, otherwise somebody had to be like waiting and then the timing wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty quick.
I'm just picturing somebody outside like blowing bubbles. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to figure out, I didn't know what the mechanism was, but I guess there's some sort of like pressurized air, like some CO2 connected to a tube, and they're just letting it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it looks great. The bubbles are fantastic. And like I'm happy that I can't smell it because I don't know, does water...
No, I don't think so.
No, you can still smell it, right? It goes into the bubble and then releases in the air, I imagine. I don't know.
Imagine.
I don't fart. I've never farted in my life, so I don't actually know how that goes. It was so gross, though, when they just let it rip at the end.
Yeah, it's very gross. And the idea that they're doing that to somehow impress a girl is so... funny, it's crazy. But yeah, it was a gross day. I think even just sitting in the water watching pretend bubbles that are supposed to be farts, it made everybody feel a bit sick.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys ever went back to the hot tub. And there are multiple hot tub scenes after this, which is amazing. Do you have a memory of like did you keep your water or coffee or something behind you? Was there little tables? Like, did people bring in subs? Like on the film set, people bring in these like little containers filled with like spaghetti, and they're called subs that you eat every like 2-3 hours just so you stay like fed. Did they bring that to you in the hot tub and you all sat eating in the hot tub, or did you get out, dry off, put on a robe to do that? Like, how do you
we would
stay
get out of the tub as quickly as possible. Okay. But I did have a water and coffee behind me. Way to jog my memory. I do remember making sure that we had some hydration present. But yeah, we're not eating in the tub. And I do think
eating in the tub. So, okay, that's fair.
Like after lunch, I think they swapped out the water, or maybe I'm just hoping that that's what happened.
You're just hoping that they did. Honestly, it probably got, because especially with people like walking around in that basement and then getting back in, it just takes like a little bit of that.
Yeah, there was debris. There was debris.
Thankfully, there was no smoking in the tub this time. I know he was saying he's going to keep his hands out, but there would have been smoking indoors in the basement as well.
Yeah.
They were prepared to do that. Did you stop that? Were you like, I don't want this?
It was never even on the table.
Okay.
I think talking about it was plenty. It was kind of like a logistical like nightmare in a way, this sort of scene. Also, I noticed like a lot of the sound is
is it rough? Because the sound's all boom. It's all boom.
But I'm like, oh wow, they didn't ADR it at all, because I guess they were like, well, this makes sense that you'd be kind of like muffled.
Sounds like water. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Like there are moments where I'm like, well, that maybe should have been redone in the studio.
Interesting.
But it's I do like it's kind of fun to be all together in a hot tub for an entire day. It was kind of fun. We had a laugh. It was very weird. Very weird.
And
I got some
nice
cute pictures.
Yeah. Would you share them on the Instagram?
Yeah, I've got a really cute picture of Jared and Nate in the tub together, and it's just quite cute.
Mm-hmm. Okay, to wrap up the Hicks portion, I just want to say when they're dropping off, when Wayne is dropping off Rosie at her house, it has never been more apparent to me that there are no kisses in Letterkenny. I was like, well, how are they going to end this? Like he's just like saying goodbye to his girlfriend and there's no intimacy. No. But then she's like, want to come in for some dad noises? And he's like, yep.
And then he makes a little
But you know what I mean? Like there's no intimacy.
There's not even a hug in that scene.
A hand on the shoulder. They're not touching.
I know. I thought maybe there could have been like a touch, a hand on the shoulder, but it's so sparing anytime that there's earnest like connection in this show in a very funny way.
It's like only when they're dancing. Like you're only allowed to touch when you're dancing.
Yes.
That is it. It's interesting. I just noticed it never struck me more than watching Clark stand there. Yeah. And I'm like, he's 4 feet away from her. Yeah. That's his girlfriend.
Do they like each other?
At all? Like
I know.
So funny.
Yeah.
He doesn't like touching. That's my theory, is that like Wayne like does not enjoy human touch if it's not sexual, like sex, like full sex. Or like low bones. He loves low bones.
Loves low bones, but
full sex, low bones, and dancing. Nothing in between.
Nothing in between.
No, you can't imagine him holding hands and walking down the street, or like arm
interlaced.
Yeah, interlaced fingers. He does fingers and toes. He's got toes interlaced as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Wayne's very huggy. Although Jared's kind of a hugger.
Oh, Jared's a hugger. Jared's a real. Jared likes to wrestle, but like Jared's not Wayne.
Guess, hey, that's very true. It's good. That's a good thing to keep in mind.
It really is. Okay, so then I guess we can move on to the hockey players who have a very also weird. It's just like it starts off with they're becoming the bush inspectors, so they're trying to make sure the hockey boys want to make sure that everyone has shaved their pubic hair.
I have some questions for you.
Great, I'd love to answer them.
Okay. Did you play team sports in school?
Not a lot, and not enough to be. I'll tell you this. I was definitely a quote unquote junk hider, as they call Boomtown, because I wasn't part of like a hockey team or anything. So I was always like, why am I like facing my dick towards everybody if we're changing it for like PE? Like, I don't understand. Or like the group shower, like there was a group shower. I was like, why would you opt to use the group shower when there's like solo showers? I never understood the desire to be like, let's all get naked together. And maybe because I wasn't part of team sports, so I never got that kind of like camaraderie.
But is it like, what is that culture? Is it camaraderie?
You know what it is? It's like, I think it's like this isn't sexual at all. I think it's part of the thing that they're trying to say. I think it's so. How do I explain this? My impression of it was like we're all bros. I always liked, like, I thought like skinny dipping is a fun thing, like jumping in the lake or something. Like that seems logical. It's nighttime. Everyone's just jumping in. No one's like, but like broad daylight change room bush inspecting seems incredibly. I guess that's not real.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
real.
like when watching this hockey scene and they're like, Boomtown, we're like, you've seen my dick, I need to see your dick.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's okay if it's weird or whatever. I guess it really is. It's like a even playing field.
Yeah,
thing?
It comes up a lot. It comes up a lot in television about like with men. Like there's a New Girl plot of the same thing, and you do hear about this. Like I need to see. Like we've all seen his dick. Like I haven't seen his dick. I don't feel that way about my friends. Yeah. I've never felt that way about my friends. I definitely remember. This is gonna sound. I remember when I was a kid, I was like afraid of anyone seeing my dick because I'm a little boy. I have a little boy dick.
Right,
I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, that's not what dicks look like. You know, so I'm like, you know, everyone's like using the urinal and you're like pushing it right in there. So like no one can like glance at it. Now as an adult, that's not the case. I'm all adult. You've
got a man dick. I've
got a man's penis now, which is fine. But no one ever prepares you for that when you're a kid. Is like how
I would assume
kind of the shame surrounding the fact that you have you have a little boy's dick. You know, like that's what you have. Sorry, but that's what's happening to you, and no one explains to you that that's gonna like change eventually, and it happens. You know, it's like one day you just wake up and this fucking thing's just no.
Right.
Do you know what I'm getting at here? And these are all grown men. Like they're in senior hockey, so they all are fully grown men. Mm-hmm. Is my idea. So this is different from that. But they've been experiencing that for years.
The pressure to show off your naked body.
Yeah.
Like did you feel, even though you weren't a part of a hockey team, did you feel pressure to show off your body in a way that was like, look, I can hang, so to speak, in this space?
Damn. Like so the only context I have for this is legitimately gym class.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I was aware of it. Like I always thought it was wild when people chose to like, again, use the group shower. I was like, what a choice. Like, why are you guys doing that? And I definitely felt a pressure because all the guys who used it were the hockey guys. That's true. All the dudes who would use the group shower were like essentially the like cool guys.
Yeah.
The dudes in the hockey team. So that is maybe part of it. Yeah, fuck.
It's an interesting part of hockey culture. Like it really is. I mean, as far as what I've been fed through media and then knowing these Letterkenny guys. Another question for you, follow-up question. I feel as though you were kind of part of a hockey team, so to speak, because the cast of Letterkenny, the male cast of Letterkenny, there were sport team elements that I feel like, especially because Jared comes from that culture, most of the guys do. Did you guys ever get naked in front of each other?
I never more in my life became comfortable doing that kind of thing with other guys. Like we definitely went like swimming a lot together, and we went
skinny dipping.
There were times, I'm sure. Yeah. Like we stayed in the same house.
Yeah.
Me, Dylan, Hersey, and Tyler, and sometimes Nate, but us four stayed in the same house on the lake for the whole season, and we were drinking every night. Not every night, but every night. So yeah, like we got very comfortable with each other, and we have been for years. Yeah. And again, Keese is kind of like Coach Keese, so there is this element of like, oh, we're going to Coach's, cabin this summer. So it's like we'd all drive up together, and there are these like sports team elements. You know, we're all getting on the ATVs. Everybody get their own ATV. Team up with
Yeah,
it's interesting. You're right. There's definitely a team element that I never had experienced previous to that.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's so not a part of like.
You guys didn't get into it. You and Melanie and Clark and stuff, you guys didn't all become a team.
No. Friends. But I think I feel like you guys were kind of hockey culture, like whether you liked it or not in a way. Fair. Like you were just a part of this team of Letterkenny in a funny way. The penis stuff in the hockey I'm sure it rings really true for a lot of our listeners. So if it does, if you're part of like a hockey team and you were like, yeah, that's totally normal, I kind of want to understand why that's normal.
Yeah,
but
we actually had the opposite experience in my friend group where we made fun of our one friend for always shaving. So we actually had the complete opposite where we were like, why are you doing that?
God, you're so evolved, Ev.
Well, I don't know about that. We did make fun of him for doing stuff. Like, we're still making fun of a guy for doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
I don't know how evolved that was, but it is funny. It's the opposite of what the hockey boys do.
Yeah.
To the stick, to the wood.
It's
so
weird
like irritating.
culture.
You're irritated if you go it right to the ouch.
Oh, pubic hair.
Yeah, all gone. Everything all gone. When it grows back a little bit, ouch.
I think shaving is not the move when it comes to that sensitive area.
So much chest hair and body, like I can't.
No, God, no. We've discussed this. You can't. A full, clean shaven boy body is a strange,
crazy, dude. Maybe I should try it sometime
for
though.
me.
Oh my God, even my arms and stuff. Like I have like so much hair. What if I got into like racing, like bike racing? I had to get on a Speedo or what are those things called? Like a
like luging. Yeah. That's not really it, but
sure. I don't know, like a slick thing that I have to put over my body.
I know, it makes me think that you're slippery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess a swimmer.
The swimmer has to do
Well,
it.
you're a swimmer now. How's that going? Are you fully in the water?
Yeah. So she told me I don't have to go back anymore.
Evan, that's really great.
Thanks.
Good for you. You are now ready to visit me on Vancouver Island.
I'm so ready. It's like the next headline is like, Canada's sweetheart, Evan Stern, gets sucked into riptide and torn into a million pieces by sharks off the coast of
Great Whites
Vancouver
all
Island.
of a sudden showed up right on the week that he arrived.
Do you guys not have those?
No, but I feel like they're coming.
Yeah,
I think there's been one-offs, maybe. I don't know, great whites. I actually don't know that for sure. But as climate change intensifies, the ocean is warming up. Our climate up here is getting more and more like California, and they're all over California now. Oh,
so you're getting more. Yeah. Oh, so you'll get them once it's too hot for them down there in California.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting me get away with Canada's sweetheart so smoothly. You didn't say anything about that. So
I think that fits.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, I want to talk about the skids.
Yay. The skids. Yeah, we actually took a photo the other day that was identical to a moment in this episode where Gay is standing and myself and Tyler are beneath Sarah, clutching her legs and looking up at her longingly and in fear. We took that exact photo in my apartment the other day. Remember? And then you photoshopped Tyler's face out of it and put your face on.
Yeah, I just wanted to see.
Really unhinged moment on your end. It was good. Yeah, I liked it. That whole episode in the basement, again, this took place over the course of one of those 27-page days. So a lot of dialogue very quickly. And we got to have Gunny Dio in there with the squad. I
love when the natives and the skids are interacting. I just feel like it's such a nice... And Gunny Dio and Sarah Gadon together...
Wow.
I feel like those two need to work together on something.
I agree.
Because it was so fun.
Yeah, they have so much in common too. Like I feel like they've known each other for a lot longer than we have. Like they worked on something a really long time ago. They run in the same circles. I think. Yes. And now they're both mothers. So I'm sure they even have more to talk about. Yeah. I mean, hardworking gals. They really are. It's just a very nice... I don't know. It was nice watching them interact, and I like that Gay is kind of coming to Rold's defense a little bit. Finally, they've spent 12 straight hours playing video games, and she's kind of on his side now, which is cool. Also, I think we're playing a game that's literally a one-player game, and all three of us are holding a remote, and we're all playing. It's just so ridiculous. What's the game? I think it's just like a one-player side scroller game. Like there's clearly only one ship moving, and all three of us are holding remotes, and we're like really invested. And that's the stuff that they never tell you what's going to be on the screen at the end of the day. Like I think originally it was something like Soul Calibur, or it was something where all three of us were playing, and then they had to change it for like rights reasons. So they just like put something on top of it. It's this thing that doesn't exist maybe. Yeah.
Oh boy. Have you ever played video games for 10 to 12 hours straight? Be honest.
Is that even a question? Of course I have.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I figured.
Like many times. Like this isn't like, oh, have you gone on like a 12-hour gaming session? This is like, I have on so many occasions played 12 hours worth of video games in a row that I can't possibly. There was it was a dark time, but there was this one point in time, probably around this point, like while we were making this part of the show, where I was living alone and I was playing Skyrim for like the 7th time. And I was just obsessed with leveling up this one armor. So I was grinding, like I was just doing the same thing over and over again all day. And I remember like days passed. Like it was like several days, and I like kind of came out of it and I was like, what is life? And I got so existential.
Yeah.
But yes, I do. I play for 12 hours in a row all the time. Not recently.
Well, I was going to ask, like, do you ever stream that long?
The longest I've streamed has probably been about 8 hours or 10 hours. Like that's kind of the average of like long streams, but I don't do that anymore. Now I stream for like 2 hours. I'm an adult. I have a podcast. I have shit to do.
Yeah, you're busy. You're booked and busy.
I'm busy. I don't play video games for more than 4 hours now, 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, that's kind of like, I would say that's kind of the limit. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can say something. Yeah.
Well, no. Finish your thought.
Somebody commented the other day how I was using the word aura farming, and you and I couldn't figure out where the word farming came from.
Yeah.
It's a video game term that I was just being an idiot and not. Farming is just doing the same thing over and over again to get like experience points or like to get an item or to get a resource or something. So aura farming is just collecting.
Okay, collecting.
Yeah,
okay.
Like over and over and over in the same way.
That's being like reaping and sowing. What?
Yeah,
so old.
Where are the seeds? So stupid.
Okay, what I was going to say, back to the basement.
Please.
I really didn't like what Tyler did with his mouth and tongue.
No, you liked it. You liked that.
You
thought it was cool. You were like, man, Tyler's a sexual being. That's what you thought.
I didn't like it. I found it so disturbing. I think it's one of the most disturbing. Yeah. Like, and Tyler does a lot of freaky shit on the show, but like that for some reason really took me back. I was like, holy, I can't believe they kept that in the edit.
I loved it. I made me laugh out loud for sure. I think Tyler is capable of. I always find it so interesting how he's so capable of looking so disgusting, yet he's such a handsome, sweet boy. But he can do something. He can do some stuff, and he tucks his hip in, and he pushes his face forwards, and like it's just so everything about it. Yeah. It does make your skin crawl. It makes your spine tingle, and this kind of like fight or flight thing happens in your body. Where like, this is a dangerous person.
I don't like it. Yeah, he's revolting, and it's a great kind of like ping pong back and forth between the two groups, and then the kids win because of Gay. She outsmarts.
How else could you scare Ganadio?
No, you couldn't.
Rather than
other than
so
through
gross.
kind of intimacy, which is so funny. Again, funny. I think there's a lot of parallels between Wayne and Tanis in that regard, where they're like a gentle hug or like sincere emotions. I'm out of here. Not
beat the shit out of that guy. Another time, Wayne loves to touch people. He loves beating the shit out of people.
Loves a fight. Yeah, loves a fist fight. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. In a lot of ways, I feel like Tanis and Wayne are completely meant to be together. I
agree. I've always felt that they were kind of endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they really are two peas in a pod.
They really are. And they respect each other too.
So much. Oh my God. So much. They could easily build a life together.
I agree. It'd be a pretty but maybe the truth is that they each need a softer touch.
They need a goof. Maybe they both need goofier partners. Maybe they need to be with like a real silly goose.
A silly goose. Yeah.
Yeah, just to level them out. Because
soften the edges, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's I don't know how I feel about that now.
They get the native crew out of there. They scare them with intimacy, a classic move, psychological warfare. And then we realize that Gay is the daughter of a psychologist. And then a woman comes in who's her mother, who looks to be the exact same age as Sarah.
It's literally, I think she might be younger than Sarah. It's someone that Wayne went on a date with in the relationships episode, in the blind date episode. Yeah. She's too hard.
Right.
Yeah. That's Gay's mom.
It's also so weird because then I'm like, well, how old is everyone? Like, I understand why people are always like, sorry, how old?
What?
And I don't know.
Her mom all of a sudden, was dating Wayne as a peer.
But yet we all went to school together, and
it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Just let it go. Let it go.
You're right.
I think Letterkenny exists in the same world as like Cats, the musical. Just suspend your disbelief. They're cats.
Yeah.
Who cares? They're cat people. Okay.
Yeah.
None of us age.
You're right.
There's no human adults or children. It's fine.
We're in the Upside Down in whatever that show is.
No, that's good. I'm not gonna.
Show?
I believe you're talking about Friends.
No.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the show Friends. I'm talking about. Oh my God, this is gonna drive me crazy. The one with Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
You're talking. Oh, damn it! I was gonna keep going.
No. So we're like in an alternate dimension where like things are just kind of flying around. The one with Millie
Bobby Brown is a crazy. That's how you. Wow. I have a couple posts for Haters Corner. I made a little post today about it, and I asked people what they thought or some suggestions. So these are from you guys. These are the things you hate that you're allowed to hate, that you deserve to hate.
Let me hear it.
Because it's contextualized, which is important.
Yeah. Okay,
so first one. People who talk on speakerphone in public. Ooh.
Yep. You're not. Why do I have to be a part of your life? I don't know you.
Oh my God. Shut up. Like, it's the worst sound. Actually, just hearing anyone else's phone in public for me. It's like if you're watching TikToks loudly on the bus and I can hear the scrolling, it makes me like, I just start to lose it. I'm like, and it's happening a lot with like very young people.
I like when you do that.
Then I'll keep doing it. Like I'll see like a 10-year-old boy, and I have talked to a 10-year-old boy before who has been like really loudly. I'm like, hey buddy, I appreciate that you're enjoying, looking at your phone or whatever, but like, could you put some like headphones in or something? And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I was like, oh, great. What a nice resolution. That's so great. And it's like not me like shaming some kid, which I feel like happens intergenerationally. People get like mad at each other. It's more just like, hey, I'd really appreciate it if like, you try.
Like the boy at Tim Hortons in my neighborhood-ish who was throwing food at the elderly woman, and then her husband, who's a senior citizen, punches this kid like 4 times.
Oh, is this that video? I actually have seen this video on the internet. I didn't know that's what that was from. I didn't know it's from your neighborhood.
Well, not my neighborhood, but like Saanich.
He slaps him in the face, right? The other guy. Jesus.
Kind of ride for that. Okay, let's
Jesus. Good luck, Connor. This next one is people who change lanes in the intersection. And then I commented, this one pisses me off unless I'm the one doing it.
Yeah. It's unsafe. It's not the rules of the road.
It's super dangerous. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily like illegal. Maybe it is, but it's definitely unsafe.
I think that it's like, if you did that in a driving test, you would fail the driving test.
Yeah. Right. That would be a problem. Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's an issue. I personally, it's
unsafe.
I can see qualities of myself as a driver where I'm like, I'm becoming a worse driver over time.
Because you're caring less?
As I drive more in Toronto, surrounded by other terrible drivers, I'm like taking on a lot of it. Like I don't know, I'm more frustrated. I'm more like, I have less patience. To put it in context, like I've never had a speeding ticket. I've never had an accident. I've put nearly 100,000 kilometers on my car in the last however many years, just in Toronto specifically. So I think I drive relatively safely, but I get like, when people like try to cut in and like, there is a kind of desire for me to act as some kind of regulator on the road, like blocking a lane when I'm like, guys, no one can merge after here. So I'm like kind of moving my Jeep over a little bit to like stop people from getting by, like shit like that I'm like, that's not safe either. Yeah. And I shouldn't do it. And I try really hard not to, but I have to like check in with myself to not do it, because my initial instinct is to like police the road a little bit, be like a little bit more, like that's not fair. You shouldn't do that. You should zipper merge. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I hate seeing people do stupid shit. And that's me at my worst is when I get to that space when I'm driving. And you can tell it's pretty, I would never do it with a passenger. So if you were in the car with me, you would never notice, because I drive like a limo driver if you're in the car. Like I come to a stop where you can't feel it. you know?
I believe it.
Yeah. Anyway, do you drive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love driving.
You love driving. Great. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so do you have any driving gripes?
Honestly, no, because anytime I'm mad on the road, I have to like take a look in the mirror because getting mad is only going to make it more unsafe. But yeah, like the classic when people don't signal and stuff like that, where it's like, you know, we're all trying to get home safe, guys. Like, let's figure it out.
I love that logic. Like when you're driving, your only goal is to get from point A to point B safely. There's nothing else that matters. It's not about how fast you get there.
Yeah.
Just get there alive. Arrive alive. That was one of the coolest.
2025.
Arrive alive 2025. I think that's Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
And this has been driving safety with
seriously, what the fuck? Where are we going with this? Oh my God. This is so weird. I put my own gripe in here. My haters corner this week is restaurants being closed on a Monday.
That's such a good one.
It's like, what are you doing?
You would hate it here.
The more I think about,
I know you would. The amount of establishments that are closed on Sundays and Mondays, it's like, these are the days that I'm going to go.
Exactly. I don't want to go on a Friday or Saturday when it's busy. I want to go on the same night that all the other servers and stuff are going. I want to go on industry night, Monday, Tuesday. Like, what are we?
Know.
And the thing is, like, you'll make money, especially in a city like Toronto. Victoria, maybe I understand because there's like 70 people who live there. But in Toronto, there's no excuse not to be open on a fucking Monday. There's millions of people in the city. Run a better restaurant. Keep it open on a Monday. It will be full of people.
Bring in some staff.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a great series of Haters Corners. And thank you guys for participating.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, thank you for participating. Feel free to send in Haters Corner answers to the email, sparepartspod@gmail.com. And don't forget to keep sending in your life and love advice questions because we will need them going forwards. I would love you to send more right now. If you've been sitting on it, send it.
Send it. We want to hear it.
Yeah. And also review the podcast because it's very important to us.
We love when you guys do that. God, we love it.
Thanks for being here this week, you guys. Happy spare parts to all, and to all a good night.
To all a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye.